podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, Dennis Diaz.
Thank you.
Finally.
Finally.
I remember nakakatuwa, nagkita tayo sa Bar Azul and that's where we formalized me inviting you to come over to the podcast.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you for the support. You've been supporting the podcast since the beginning, so
Absolutely.
maraming salamat. Dennis, now, people may not know, but again, what we're going to talk about is origin story, no? Dito, kung may godfather, ikaw ang gear father ng, ng ating local socal dito sa LA. You're the founder of Pinoy Gearheadz. And you used to have a nice studio in downtown LA, Cybertron, di ba? Simulan natin, like, sino si Dennis Diaz growing up? Were you a musician simula nung bata ka pa?
Yeah, I would say so. I used to play a lot of keyboards back in elementary school and high school, which I think we went to the same high school.
Lasal.
Yeah. And I used to play a lot of keyboards. And then my family, my dad and mom were in a band together. My mom was a drummer.
Wait, so
my dad's a guitarist.
So musicians okay, your mom and dad were okay, so they were really musicians.
My dad's mom and all the siblings of my dad's mom are musicians, like professional, like UP orchestra.
Oh wow!
Like with doctorate degrees.
Yeah.
Doctorate degrees in music.
But you never pursued music in college?
Not really. Just maybe I was active writing with jazz bands and also with music theater. Like I wrote an actual music theater play, all original music from beginning to end.
Wow!
Back in college.
Hobby lang. Hindi siya project.
It was a project for.
It was a project.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you did that in college. Pero ano talaga ang gusto mong klaseng music?
It was always rock for me.
So, but what
Like,
if it was always rock for you? What made you do the other genre?
I think I just appreciate a lot of like jazz and music theater.
So growing up in a musical family, your parents never forced you to do music?
Not really. No, they, of course, like the usual Asian parents, they would ask to maging doktor ka or
Seryoso, ganun talaga?
businessman. But no, they were still supportive because I took both. I had a music and computer science major back in college. So
college here na sa States, right?
Yeah.
High school, Philippines. Why did you guys migrate?
It was just an opportunity for my parents to take us here. They wanted to have businesses here. In fact, like that gas station just down the street from your house. I used to work. My parents used to own that gas station, and
bring the mic closer to you.
Yeah, and they all as kids we were like typical Asian family with
right.
With there's your phone.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
And you're the
second.
Second. So hindi naman pa pwede sabihin middle child no? Pag second.
But a total of 10 though.
Wait.
But with my mom, 3 siblings. With and I have other.
Oh wait, your dad and mom are separated.
Yeah.
So, okay, are both your parents here in the States? No.
No. My dad is a businessman in the Philippines.
So Philippines, ano yung business niya ron?
A lot of the construction and also power plant business.
Oh yeah, big time.
I wish I was big time like my dad.
Hindi I mean, for people who don't know, big time ka rin naman dito with regard to your work.
I still have yet to find my my niche. I have yet to make a mark on the world.
You know what? I think let's forget about the world, no. But I know, and this is not pulling anything. You've made a mark on a lot of Filipino aspiring musicians dito sa LA. Yun alam ko yun.
Oh, thank
you. That's how I knew of you actually. From other people who, so umabot sa point na, sino ba si Dennis Diaz? Because I would hear your name all the time. And the reason why was because of your studio, Cybertron. Can you tell me how that started?
That started with my band with my brother, X Syndrome. We wanted to have a rehearsal studio so we could just go there and write songs and ano.
Okay, backstory. Iba ang rehearsal studio, guys, dito sa States. Iba ang rehearsal studio sa Philippines. Sa Philippines kasi, and meron na rin tayo rito sa States ng mga ganon. You go to a place, kompleto na yung gamit,
Yeah.
and you pay per hour, tapos pagtapos na, malis ka na.
Yeah.
Your studio was not like that. It was more like a lockout.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Can you
absolutely.
tell them what a lockout is?
Lockout is you just rent space.
An empty space.
Yeah, you make it your creative space doing music or even not music, even just creative stuff, painting, whatever artsy stuff that you could possibly do.
So you went to you were able to find a space in a building that catered to that.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we got that back in I think 2004. And then after a while, after the band broke up, I wanted to keep the studio, but for me to be able to afford it, I have to rent it out to different
Right.
bands. And the people in my circle, mga Pilipino, I asked, can you guys rehearse here instead of paying whatever, $20 an hour? And
Yeah.
ito na lang, $20 sa inyo na yung buong gabi, ganun.
I remember going to your studio and nakakita ko ng drum set dito, drum set dito, drum set dito. And they were not set up. They were actually kept.
Uh-huh.
How does that work?
Oh, it was just, it became like a storage place
Okay.
of the musicians that rehearse there all the time. And I just let them keep their gear there kasi nandun naman sila like every other day or whatnot.
Right.
Instead of bringing their stuff all the time.
And then may fridge na, may drinks.
Like
Tapos
beer.
maglalagay ka lang ng tip jar doon.
Yeah, kasi it helps with with the beer, or I even had like some arcade machines there. Para like yung usually mga bands kung magpa-practice sila, they also have their friends over, yung mga girlfriend nila or whatever, or boyfriend. Nandun lang sa walang ginagawa. So something to do if they want to drink or buy snacks. You know, it's all honesty system too. Like I didn't get inventory or whatever, but everybody was just contributing. All of a sudden, like, oh, maybe $200 na dito.
Diba?
So like, yeah. So it was really helpful to pay for the lease of the place.
And it actually became a small community on its own.
Yeah,
You know?
everybody just started going there, hanging out there, and renting the place. And it, at one point, I had 2 studios in that building. But after siguro the last, or I think 3 years ago, it kind of fell apart because of a lot of things, like a lot of bands. Some people got laid off, or I even have I want to give him some respect. He was the singer for Pillowcase, and he was there twice a week paying, and he got into an accident and he died that morning. I spoke with him that morning that he was going to rent it out, and then he got ran over. It was just a hit and run in Long Beach. But there's a lot of things that happened, and then like 4 or 5 bands actually had to pull out, and I couldn't afford it kasi mahal din. It's about $2,200. No. $1,200 a
And
month.
it's big. It was like twice the size of this studio, di ba?
Yeah.
It was big.
So it's medyo nahirapan din akong bayaran. And then like I wanted to pay to. It wasn't designed to make money. It's only designed really to have a communal place for all the bands to hang out. But nauubos yung sweldo ko after that. Like I had to sell some of my gear to pay for it. Like, you know what? And also with my family getting bigger and we're moving to a house, let's just move the studio lockout at our whatever house that we're gonna get.
Ang maganda rin sa Cybertron, nagkaroon pa ng opportunity for bands to actually do a mini concert.
Oh yeah.
In it,
that was
diba?
nice. Yeah.
Sandwich actually performed at your studio.
Sandwich, Flying EPs, and all these other.
Go closer to that.
Oh,
Okay, bring the mic closer para at least yan.
Yeah, Flying EPs, and and then and the local bands, like sometimes just to make a production, so that will kind of help me pay for the lease. Also, is have a group of people there and buy drinks. So it was that was my kind of idea to keep that place.
And the beauty about this, you had the support of your wife.
Oh yeah, absolutely, from the get go. I mean, she's also
A musician.
Kaya,
Hindi ka ba nagtanong, parang ako nanay at tatay ko dalawang musikero silang dalawa, ako ang anak nila. Ngayon musikero rin ang asawa ko. So dalawa rin kayo musicians. At nagja-jam din kayo because both of you have a band, right?
yeah, ang problema lang sa parehong musician, parehong doble gasto. Like I always tell, like with my friends, like as a egotistical thing, that walang hiraman sa pamilya namin eh.
Seryoso? Like yung gamit ni Annette. By the way, si Annette, yung wife ni Dennis was our guest nung season 1. So panoorin niyo yung episode ni Annette Diaz. So si Annette, pag bumili siya ng gamit, kanya lang yon.
Supposedly. Parang like one time kasi she was also playing bass for my brother's band and other bands. So nagbe-bass siya. Kung ginagamit niya yung bass because she has a little bit of sweaty palms. Like so pumunta akong guitar center, pinala ko na siya na, thank you. Parang ayoko gamitin mo yung bass ko. Pwede yung, here's a nice bass, just use that.
Hindi naman siya na-offend.
Hindi. Kasi meron na siyang bagong bass.
Ayun. Tapos, okay. Now, you play the bass also eh.
Yeah, actually a bass player that plays other instruments. And my primary instrument is bass, upright bass, and electric bass.
That's your primary instrument.
Yeah.
Kaso, magaling ka rin mag-keyboards. Kasi yun ang una mong...
Magaling,
pero yun ang una mong instrumento kasi.
Yeah. Because I took piano lessons when I was 5 till mga 20 years old.
How about drums?
Drums, marunong lang ng konti.
Mas magaling yung asawa mo kaysa sa'yo.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good answer.
Like that, I could, minsan like I have a drums beat to that I want to do but hindi ko magawa, so I just call Annette, pakitugtog na to. Part na to. So.
Now, do your kids play music?
We're trying to get them to. So hopefully, because they're at an age where the musical instruments are still toys to them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get them to play. Like I bought my son an Akai MIDI controller.
Yeah.
To use with Ableton. So hopefully, he has the concept of your metronome and when to start the recording. Like and that's from day one when he got the unit. That was pretty amazing. Seeing that, because he likes video game music, and a lot of that is from producers, really.
Galing, no?
And doing that.
Yeah.
From the MIDI pads or the keyboard. So, and he's also taking piano lessons from me and also from an app. So what he's learning, he's applying to that. Pero of course, they're still like in the video game stage. But
how are you as a daddy teacher?
A music teacher or just homework teacher?
Music teacher.
Stricto
ka ba?
Hindi masyado eh. Like,
kasi alam ko na you taught music di ba?
I taught music and actually back in college, I was teaching kids too. I had students. I drive to people's houses and do the whole tutoring thing, giving piano lessons, guitar lessons back in the day. But I got really, nawala na akong pasyente sa mga bata.
So speaking of that, nawala ka ng pasensya sa mga bata. How is it like teaching your kids as opposed to other kids?
It's hard. It's better to just have another teacher, really, like a piano teacher, because they'll be more like authoritative. Because with the parang kalaro mo lang kasi.
How long have you been in a band dito sa States?
In my current band or just any?
Just any band in general. What I want to know is I want to know your musical journey kasi.
I think I've always been in bands ever since I got here. Either as even just a hired gun or being in a band was like siguro if may gap lang ng konti for a week or two na walang banda, and then you just at the time we didn't have Facebook or we had Craigslist. Or not even before Craigslist. We had Recycler.
The Recycler,
I go to Recycler. Okay, this band is looking for a bass player or a keyboard or a guitar player.
Right.
And then you just call them and hopefully it goes out.
By the way, ang Guns N' Roses Recycler din.
Yeah, so it's Metallica.
Metallica din. Yeah. So now, with regard to that, ano ang goal? What was your goal? Was it just to play music or to be a star? What was the goal?
Well, at the time, it's not really a goal. It's just kind of like it's your passion. And
so,
I think with that mental, at that age, you're 6, 17, 18,
right,
even to like maybe 25, you just feel feel like a rock star, I guess.
Okay, it may difference yun, ha? Feel like a rock star and actually being a rock star. Tapos may difference yung this is my goal, this is my passion. Pag passion ba, may moving forward motion or may in the moment ka lang, masaya ka na? Kasi di ba, may different yun eh. Pag goal, meron kang pinupuntahan via your passion. Pag passion, pag hindi mo nagawa yan, hindi kompleto yung araw mo and all that stuff. So which was which at 17?
I think just a combination of both, and just like because you're so passionate about it, you also have that hope to. Excuse me, burp yata ako.
Okay lang. Documented.
It's more of you have that hope where, and this is before internet too. You know, you wanted to. At the time, you want to get signed.
Right.
You want to be. I know.
So it was there. It was there.
It was
there
there.
Was a desire, yeah.
There was a desire, but also early 90s. America was very young to me. It's like I think the Asians are not really like in the media as far as.
Kumbaga, ramdam mo yung pagiging minority.
Yeah, ramdam na ramdam mo pa eh. Parang I feel like now is better. You could actually make it a goal and pursue that dream, I guess.
So when you left for the States, what year in high school were you at?
I was third year in high school, junior, but I only went there as the first quarter.
So naabutan mo pa yung panghapon.
Naabutan
Kasi
ko panghapon.
third year, fourth year, panghapon yun
Naabutan ko pa si Mr. Cruz.
Oo naman! Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I was there freshman and sophomore year, and then the first quarter of third year, and then lumipat na ako dito.
Sina Mrs. Pilapil, no? Bibigyan ka ng VR.
VR? Oh my goodness.
Violation report.
Yeah.
So okay. So third year, my God. So ang laking adjustment. In other words, may barkada ka na sa high school, and then you had to
get out, yeah. And then going here, syempre, you have a culture shock because now you're an American.
Okay, when you came here, was it your mom and your dad? They were still together?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did they tell you guys na pack your bags, alis tayo?
Pack your bags and alis na tayo. We're gonna go to the States.
It was more like a heart attack, or was it more like, okay, it's a terminal thing we're in. Oh, guys, at this day, aalis tayo. Or was it biglaan na aalis tayo?
I think it's more biglaan eh. I think also at that age, you just kind of not really think about the future. It's like, oh, we're alis tayo bukas. Okay, let's go.
Okay, and then pagdating dito parang, oh my God.
And you start over and then you just develop friendships.
So pretty much, your brother was your best friend nung mga unang panahon nyo rito.
Actually, nauna ako dito eh.
Okay.
And then my brother was still in Ateneo at the time. Then he flew by. So.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Now, magkabanda na kayo ng kapatid mo. Did you guys share the same passion?
Oh yeah.
Same goal?
We're always kind of like in the same wavelength as far as music. Like what I'm thinking, he'll do. What he's thinking, I'll do. It's like, I think, kumbaga kasi kapatid mo, alam mo na yung gusto ng kapatid mo, alam niya na yung gusto ko. It's kind of like...
Para si Elsa at saka si Anya.
Yeah.
Si Ana at saka si Elsa.
We describe ourselves at the time, or I describe ourselves as like Robert and Dean DeLeo, Stone Temple Pilots.
Yes.
Kapatid. And at the time, kasi guitarista at bahista.
Okay.
I think I see also bands with siblings is working for them.
Except Oasis.
Except Oasis. Yeah.
Now, speaking of singing, ikaw ang singing chords.
No, it's different bands. I think just the last few bands or the last two projects, I became a singer.
Okay.
And I never really thought of myself as a singer. I'm just like a wannabe singer, really.
Sus.
And
guys, ilalagay ko yung link ng album nila sa description. Kayo humusga.
Like, sobrang wannabe singer lang ako. And it's also hard because it's very DIY yung mga albums here, especially in the US. You know, you can't afford getting to like $1 million studio or hiring an engineer.
That's true.
And it's hard then as a producer and the singer and the engineer at the same time. So I'm recording.
That was all you.
So I'm recording, I'm listening to myself singing.
And you're very
all day
critical.
long.
Oo.
Kaya parang nakakasukang-suka na ako sa boses ko.
Tapos magiging critical ka pa sa sarili mo.
Yeah. And then you go, and then like, I don't like how I sang that part, and then you just record it again, and then it's never right, and then you just like have to.
And this was back in the 90s?
No, it's recently.
Recently.
Yeah.
When you started singing. But back in the 90s, did you write and record songs?
Yeah, I also write and record, but I have other people sing because I wasn't confident of how I sing because I sound like a fob.
So paano kayo nagdi-DIY nung 90s? Paano kayo nagdi-DIY nung 90s?
Yung Tascam na
4-track. The cassette.
Yeah, and then you bounce it and you record more things.
My God, no?
So yeah, there was no auto-tune back in the day too, and yeah, just all tape, not reel-to-reel tape, but Tascam tape.
Are you happy na dumadami na yung mga ano rito ngayon? Yung mga bands?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's good about Gearheadz that I think I'm proud of is marami rin nabuo na banda dun. Marami nagkakilala.
Let's talk about Pinoy Gearheadz. How did that? Now, Pinoy Gearheadz, is that a forum? Is that a group? Is that an organization? How would you call it?
It's a Facebook group na private. First, I started with just 4 or 5 friends that, hey, let's just start a Facebook group. And then we could either sell gear and just talk about whatever. And then of those friends, they added their friends who were musicians till it just kind of expanded from like 20 to like 300-400 within a few months. And then soon North America na rin, yung Canada na rin, sumali. And the people from Canada was very supportive too with this group. And I think I'm not sure, but I think I was the first one who created the Filipino Gearhead.
Yeah, ikaw talaga.
In North America.
Kaya nga ikaw ang gear father. And by the way guys, off cam, kaya, okay, anong oras ba? 10 o'clock, dumating si Dennis dito ng 8 o'clock. And then si JJ at si Dennis nag-usap tungkol sa gear. Yun na. Kaya yung behind the scenes namin medyo mas matagal kaysa sa naririnig nyo ngayon. But let's talk gear. How much gear do you have?
Money-wise?
Oh, sige.
I don't know.
Money-wise.
Here's a bit cocky answer, like about 100 grand worth of equipment.
Talaga?
No. I used to have 24 guitars, but now I have...
Okay. Wait. Let's go. Wag natin madalihan. 24 guitars. Anong average price ng isang gitara mo?
Siguro mga 1,000.
Okay, so mga 24,000 yun. Ano yung mga gitarang yun?
Mga Gibson, Fender.
Walang made in Japan doon. Walang made in China ron. Puro US.
Maybe, no. Some high-end and some low-end.
Okay.
You have the high-end that you wanted. I wanted to have all the Gibson flavors. The EST35, the Gibson Les Paul,
Les Paul Custom.
Parang lahat ng, even Fender. You have the Strat, Telecaster, all the offsets and whatever. I just want to have a one flavor of each, a Fender and Gibson. And then nung nag-asawa na ako, and then nagkaanak, nababawasan. So it's like 24, now it's done, and then 18, and then 14, and then 12. I think I still have 12.
Kalahati. So how do you decide which guitar you're going to sell?
Siguro sawa, like if you're really tired of it,
Paano,
or there's no application.
How do you get tired of it?
I was also a collector of Metallica guitars. I had the 84 Gibson, or the ESP, the one that
Kirk Hammett uses.
No, James Hetfield 1984 Explorer.
Parang okay.
ESP, the lawsuit one. But there's a Metallica member that wanted to buy it from me that I couldn't refuse what he's paying. But he's offering me, so I just gave it away. Because I also have the 84 Gibson version anyway.
So you gave that guitar away?
So no, he bought it from me
Okay.
for I believe $4,500.
How much?
I think 4K maybe. I'll just say 4K.
Wow. Teka, break muna tayo tapos balikan natin yung mga kwento ni Dennis. Nakakatuwa. Ito na yung mga juicy part eh. We'll be back after these reminders. And we're back.
Oh, that's cool.
So $4,000 gitara. Bakit yun yung lawsuit guitar? Dahil kapareha ng Fender?
Hindi ka pareho ng
Gibson. Gibson Explorer pala. Parang yung ginagamit ni Edge.
Yeah.
Tama ba?
But the 84 is like the kind of the signature that James Hetfield used back in the 80s.
So those are the guitars. Ilan naman ang bass mo? Ilan ang bass guitar mo?
I think at this point, mga 6 or 7 maybe. Can't remember.
7 bass guitars.
Yeah, kulang pa ngayon eh.
Kulang pa yun.
Yeah.
Ano pinaka-favorite? Okay.
Siguro yung kay Annette, mga ganyan. Iba pa yung kay Annette.
Ano yung favorite mong bass guitar? Since yun ang main instrument mo.
Just the Fender Jazz.
What makes the Fender Jazz special? Anong okay sa kanya?
Just the tone for the application that I use it for. I used to have the more high-end bass guitars, I had a Padula, maybe I think at one point a Ken Smith. But yung mga ganun flavor na bass are more for like people who are in the Tonight Show, maybe that type of gigs. But like for the application that I use for rock bands, for whatever, for higher gun, like it all goes back to a P bass or a jazz bass.
Standard no?
Yeah, standard, yeah.
Now, with regard to your main setup, let's say, so dalawa lang pinagpipilian mo, P bass or jazz bass. And then where does that go with regard to electronics? Anong pass-through anong circuitry nung bass na yon bago pumunta sa amp? So anong mga pedals na?
I have the usual, the preamps like the Sans amp, and I use a flanger sometimes, or di ko na matanda. Distortion maybe, or
on the bass,
or some overdrive on the bass. Yeah.
Narinig mo na yung bass player ng Muse?
Yeah.
Di ba ang...
Yeah, it has a lot of gritty,
God,
like overdrive sounding bass. Oh yeah, that's very influential. The tone of that bass. I think in the 80s, if you hear that, it's like, what the heck is that?
Right.
Now it just
now
sounds,
parang no?
It's like glorious sounding.
Yes. So let's go to let's go to your current band, River. 3-piece kayo.
Yeah.
Alamuse. 3-piece. You play the bass, and then who are the personnel?
We have Dale on guitars and Bong Francis Nerga on drums.
Okay. Who started the band?
That's a good question. I guess we did. We were at the time when it was formed, we were all just came off from different bands, and at that point we were also hanging out in the studio at Cybertron at the time. And then it started with a jam, and then we started out as a jamming lang sa studio, and then it became an Incubus cover band.
Okay.
Because we were all Incubus fans, or we had this kind of like that enthusiasm whenever we're playing Incubus songs. So and then we started with that. We had a gig as an Incubus cover or tribute band, if you will. And then we started writing our own songs, or I think I started it because Dale was just doodling around with the guitar. I was recording him, and then I just added some melodic lines and lyric, and then it worked. And then soon, from the cover band set, it's becoming more and more originals that are filling up those sets.
Like the EP that you have, which is available on Spotify, Story of a Stranger. Which was actually a line taken from River of
Iris,
di ba?
Oh,
gusto
homework. Awesome.
Simula nung lumabas yung album na yan, I've been listening to
thank you.
Bitin nga, 5 kanta lang eh.
It's 10 songs.
Pero 5 kanta lang yung napapakinggan ko sa playlist ko ngayon.
Oh, okay.
Hindi ko pa nalalagay lahat ng mga songs, no? So, sabi ko, okay, gusto ko tong 5 kanta na to for one simple reason. How do I say this? You guys listen to it, but there is one distinct sound, but they're very different. But there's one distinct sound. So, ang gusto ko itanong sa'yo, you mixed, you recorded the band, who arranged?
I didn't pretty much.
Okay, so that explains it. Kasi ang ganda ng tunog niya.
Oh, thank you.
So ito ba yung sinasabi na you were very critical about yourself and all that stuff. It sounds so good. So, I want to know the recording process. What was the first song recorded on that album?
I think it was a song called Sweet Intoxication.
Okay. So, okay, alam ko yun. So, Sweet Intoxication. Medyo mabagal yun.
Yeah.
So pag-usapan natin yun. What is the story behind Sweet Intoxication?
That's a good question. I think at the time when we were writing, when we write songs, when we jam on the studio, everything just kind of lines up with Dale and Bong. It's very fluid when we're writing songs. Even the lyric that comes out of my mouth, sometimes because we always record our sessions. Kung ano man lumabas sa bibig ko.
Yun na muna yun, yeah.
Yun na yun. And then you just kind of tweak it a little bit more.
Right.
But there's quite a few songs in there that kung ano man lumabas sa bibig ko at that time, yun na yung naging parang melodic structure niya and lyrically. And because River is a more commercial rock band, I was aiming for na dapat malayo siya sa Sons of Asylum. It has to be more on the
pop side.
Pop rock.
Yeah.
So it's more palpable to the.
Pati yung mga riffs nung gitara are very pop, ha?
Oh yeah. That's all Dale on that side, and I'm trying to see.
I was gonna ask you, sabi ko,
Yeah.
pinapakinggan ko yun eh. Yung mga intro ng mga gitara, sabi ko, parang hindi si Dale ang gagawa ng mga. No offense, ha? But I wanted to ask you, so that was him talaga?
Yeah, that's all him.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to, it's also challenging if you're usually doing the creative writer of a band. You have to also give your bandmates the freedom, some room to be creative. Kasi kung ako mag-guitar, magiging parang Sons of Asylum. So like with Dale, guitar riffs and ideas, it helps me tone down what I'm doing, and it also gives me another avenue to lyrically and melodically. So lumalabas yung mga sensibilities ng what could work with that song. So
when you say, how long did the production go for the whole 10 songs for the album?
I would say mga 2 years then.
2 years. Hindi nyo naman winadali, no?
No, we were done before the pandemic.
Okay.
Because of the pandemic, I had time to mix and finish off the album.
And everything was recorded at Cybertron?
Yeah. Actually, no, not all of it. Some everything was actually in my house.
Now, recording the album, ano ang process? Sa mga nanonood, sa mga may gustong gumawa ng kanilang DIY, what was your process like? Were there fights? Were there arguments? Were there misunderstandings?
I don't believe there were ever fights, but it's always...
Kasi opinionated yung dalawang kasama mo kahit...
Yeah, it's the way we work best if we were all in the same room.
Uh-huh.
I wish it was different kasi like not everyone is technical savvy on technology as far as working remotely.
Right.
Like wari, ito yung sinula ko, pasok sa'yo. Ganun na ngayon eh because of this quarantine. But before, when we meet, like once a week, we have a new song idea every time, sometimes two.
Tapos i-record nyo na yun.
Yeah. And ang problema kay Dale, sorry Dale, I'm gonna expose you. Every time he has a creative, an idea as a guitar line or a guitar riff, nakakalimutan niya agad. So every rehearsal is a recording on my end. And I take that, after we're done, I put it on Pro Tools or whatever DAW I use. And then I give them the idea, let's do it this way. So ako nag-arrange lahat, but he has all the ideas, I just put it all together.
When you say put it all together, is it still his work or you'll emulate his guitar parts, gagawa ka ng guitar parts mo para
No. It's all
sa kanya na, okay.
It's all his guitar, and what Dale is really good at is the use of
effects.
That's his forte, and I wanted to highlight that on the recordings.
Tapos kay Francis naman, he listens to both of you, and then kung anong gagawin yung dalawa.
Oh yeah. Ang maganda kay Bong, he knows what to do every time. I think not just for our band, for the other bands that he plays for, even the cover bands. It's like you think it and he just does it without even telling him.
Sometimes you forget na he's there.
Yeah.
Kasi very, very reliable.
Yeah.
Very reliable si
And his level of from when we started to where he is now is just exponential. Yung level. Let's say pati si Dale, like yung skill level went up.
Right.
And not just on playing the instrument, but also songwriting skills, because that's different. Writing music and also playing the instrument.
Now, is this your first pop rock band?
No original.
Yeah.
Not maybe back in college, but kind of like, but that's more like in the grunge style, of course, because it was 90s. But yeah, this is the first pop rock. I was going for like kind of like a Police.
Right.
Still with that Incubus.
You
influence.
feel yung pero may pagka-melancholic pero may hook na na dating.
And yeah, it's also we were challenging ourselves, even for myself, kasi since I was the vocalist, I wanted to concentrate melodically yung lyric content.
Yeah.
Because the hardest part, I think, of writing a song is lyrics.
Yeah.
And lyrics is like a very personal. It's kind of like singing your own poems or your diary.
So did you?
Yeah, parang ganun eh. So
Hindi,
like,
iba yung parang ganun sa yun. So,
no. It's more parang ano yun, no? Sometimes I don't like. Sometimes when I'm writing this stuff and like, where the hell did that come from? Parang yun ba feeling ko? I don't know, but I feel like it's also a challenge to write something that maybe a friend is going through.
Okay.
And then you're just writing a song about that, or kasi I wanted to go like going back to Sons of Asylum, more political content, right? This is more personal, more relationship based.
yes.
Yeah, so it's about heartache, it's about friendship, it's all about it would be more palpable to a general audience than yung mga rakista lang.
Correct.
So
Kaya di ba tanong, poem mo or parang sa'yo? Now, when you were, okay, so ngayon nire-record nyo na to. A while ago, I asked you, passion, goal, di ba? So kayong tatlo, nung nire-record nyo to, what was the goal?
This time the goal was to complete an album and to get it released, not just in our circle of friends, but also in the American audience. That is my absolute goal that I'm still working on, trying to get sync licenses for it, trying to hopefully get, I don't know, video games or maybe in a TV show. So that's what I'm still trying to work on, and we're working on it as a group, trying to get this reviewed by bloggers or some kind of publishing. So
Can you tell the audience what's a sync license and why this is important to you as a musician?
Sync license is a service. There's a service that sync license is the ability to make your song to be placed in a TV show or movie or commercial. If you have sync license, that means pwede nila gamitin and then you get paid for it.
And the payment is not change. It's really...
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's substantial.
Let's say you wrote a song for... Like, I'll give you an example who wrote a song... like, kunwari... what's that band, yung theme song ng Friends?
Rembrandt. Dum 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 dum.
Yeah. So
Rembrandt.
if you get casted, your song get casted, that's a ton of money.
It's a theme song, no?
And then that's also if you get syndication, let's say in other countries, kuwari luma na. Like for instance, even like let's say a good example, Seinfeld, yung mga bass lick.
Yeah.
It was played in keyboard actually. And then Seinfeld is still being played in the UK and Japan, whatever.
You're still making royalties.
You're still getting paid for that. You could do one show, and then you're still getting large amounts of money coming in without doing anything. So it's like perpetual wealth.
Exactly. Didn't Stuart Copeland do this for The Equalizer?
Possibly.
Yung intro ng intro ng Equalizer was Stuart Copeland, di ba? Yung yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes they even just take maybe a section, a bridge, or a chorus of your song that will work for a Nike commercial or whatever. So, or pero our songs kasi medyo mas on the pop mellow stuff. So I don't know, but I want to get it in that level para with all our original music.
Right. So when you were recording or arranging and making the album, you had that in mind already na okay, ito gagawin natin para magkaroon tayo ng and the other two guys were on board na.
Yeah. It's also hard because then it's all DIY, like I said, and it's very saturated here in LA. You have a ton of musicians, American musicians, and it's hard to. It's like I almost have to like Google a lot of stuff and do a lot of research, and it's not easy.
In regard to?
It's not easy to get your music out there.
Yeah.
Kasi you could get gigs. Kuwari, may kakilala or let's say, mag-open tayo for whatever, let's say a popular band from Philippines go here and then we perform, we open, whatever, and then that's it, really. But the goal is like that's why I was really adamant in getting this album out. Kasi if it's out there, hindi ka muna mag-gig eh. If you have an audience who are listening to and become fans, then when you do a show, then marami na, hindi lang mga kaibigan mo na manonood.
Yes.
So it's all at least like genuine fans, but that's the goal, how to get somehow pull all these people. But it's hard,
It is very hard.
It's a lot of work.
Now, this pandemic, we're in the middle of the pandemic. Anong plano ng River? Are you guys preparing for post-pandemic season?
We just talk about it here and there, but right now we're just like really concentrating getting these songs heard outside of our circles. Like I hit up like college radio stations or some obscure blogging, because they're big. They have like, let's say, a couple million followers. Whatever they write kind of like blows up.
Yes.
So like I'm reaching to those. I send emails to NPR. And even this publishing place in publishing blog about music albums or whatever in Australia. So if they just hear that and they like it,
Shotgun.
If they write about it, maybe and then it will get heard somehow, and then. So
now, with regard to that, no, because nakakatuwa talaga pag andyan pag may mga kanta ka na out in the market. So now, music video, andyan ang YouTube eh. Wala rin naman tayo ginagawa ngayon. Did you guys ever think of coming out with a music video?
We did a quarantine video as an original song, but we don't have yet we haven't really shot any video because of the COVID.
How are you with regard to the whole kasi yung naging ubiquitous ng ang mga quarantine videos, mga performances, diba? How are you with regard to that?
How do I feel about
that one? Because I'll tell you why. You and your wife, you have a duo, Thieves Like Us, right? No bull. I have more fun watching both of you perform together than watching a quarantine video. That's me. Mas hanggang ngayon, kahit nanonood ako ng video, mas gusto ko makita yung mga, and maybe it's selfish of me to say it, mas gusto ko makita yung mga tao together in one place. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, ang tanong ko is, ako lang ba nakakaramdam ng ganun, or do you feel the same way toward quarantine videos?
Well, because of the pandemic, nagkaroon ng, there's an influx of quarantine videos,
diba?
Not just from our circle of friends.
Everywhere.
So yeah, it's getting old and it's getting kind of like, parang boring na.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just watch it like maybe 20, 30 seconds of it, and then you're just kind of like, eh. So what we're trying to do, my wife and I, we're trying to make it more interesting. So to keep the person watching, or at least the person who supports you will continue watching. So sometimes we throw our kids in there or whatever. Or sometimes you just, or sometimes the editing.
Did you do a video of multiple ikaw? Ikaw ba yung gumawa? Ikaw yun, di ba? Sabi ko, multiple Dennis?
I think, yung black and white ba yun?
I think so, yeah. Sabi ko.
Oh yeah, it was the cover of a love song.
Yes.
But, yung whiteboard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes if you just kind of, instead of doing a performance, just do a video within your your space
Yun na nga eh.
with making an actual music video instead of a quarantine with 4
Yes.
lines and whatever.
Kasi parang that gets old quickly.
Yeah,
Eh,
it does.
yung
It does.
ganon eh.
I have to admit it does. And then, in fact, I even have 2 quarantine videos that are coming out, but it's more of a challenging now to get your band, the people that you want to work with, to participate.
Because
Mas challenging ngayon yung to edit the video, to make it as interesting. Kasi like every video you put out should get better than the previous one. I
Right.
think. As if you notice, yung first quarantine video namin ni Annette was kind of wala lang, pangit pa yung lighting. The lighting was we're kind of like far apart. And now my studio at home is like more parang soundstage now with lighting in the background, with full on studio equipment. So it's getting better and better, but also the videos has to be more interesting as we,
So stressful din yun, di ba? Yung creative process.
Yeah, the creative process is not even the music anymore. It's more of how to present it on social media.
And that's all you.
Kami ni Annette.
Kayo ni Annette. Okay.
When it comes to but and she's also doing quarantine videos with her friends from
the
from UP,
Philippines,
from
UP, yeah.
whatever, and then also we're trying. Sometimes I participate also with Mark Flores stuff, and then so it's really cool seeing all of that.
That's nice, no? Now, with regard naman to vlogging or doing a podcast, are you planning to do one yourself?
Yes, I mentioned that to you to compete with you. More of I wanted this idea to of interviewing parents who are musicians. So I want to interview a parent and a child or a teenager or whatever, and talk about their relationship.
Para kami ni Heaven, di ba?
Yeah, it's either the dad.
May guess ka na.
Like the dad is the musician or the mom, and then you have a child who's a non-musician, or vice versa.
Right.
I want to interview, let's say a musician who's really passionate about it, pero yung parents hindi masyado.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about that dynamic and how. So those are things that, not just in the Filipino community, but also in Americans in general.
When are you planning to start this?
Hopefully soon. I already got like the whole table and mics like this set up.
Are you gonna do guests in the studio, or more of
Just
like
want guests in the studio, like how you're doing
mas
it.
maganda, di ba?
It's more it's more
personal.
dynamic how
It's
you
dynamic,
speak.
yes.
Kasi kung a Zoom with 2 boxes.
Again, sa ano na tayo eh. Desensitized na tayo sa
Yeah.
sa ganung format eh.
It's a little kind of, yeah, you're right. I have to agree on that one. But yeah, inviting and I think it's something different to talk about.
Yes.
And I have no idea or what clue if it's gonna go big or not. It's just something. I think now is the time to have like your own YouTube channel, your own show,
Right.
your own channel, and it's nice to just talk.
With regard to your own media platform, website, does your band River have its own website?
No, because from research we don't do like, it's all just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Right.
If you're dominating those 3.
Pero how are you going to sell your music?
From those
Sa Apple
platforms.
ka lang pwede magbenta.
Sa
Hindi ka pwede magbenta sa Spotify.
oh yeah, you're right.
Hindi ka pwede
Spotify just
sa Amazon, pwede ka magbenta sa Amazon. Yeah.
It's Amazon, yeah.
So Amazon at saka Apple ka lang pwede magbenta. Website no
iTunes,
plans.
yeah, iTunes. So we only have we were talking about making physical media like CDs.
Yeah.
We're still debating, is it really worth making CDs or even vinyl?
Yes.
And then if we make vinyl, ang mahal. And we already kind of we already did some research on vinyl. It's quite a bit expensive.
Magkano
We're
vinyl?
gonna
$10 isang
ang
is it-
cost mo, di ba?
cost.
So you have to sell it,
25.
25 to even like break even.
35 may kasamang t-shirt, not
Oh,
bad.
Tapos may kasama ka, tapos bibili ka, tapos minimum 50, 100 maybe
Yeah.
even. So, you're still gonna shell out about $2,000-$3,000.
At least CD. Dapat meron kayo CD.
Kasi I feel like CD is starting to become like 8-track.
I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you guys also, mga listeners. The reason why you need a CD, if you're a band that wants to do live performances. You need a CD kasi dun sila pipirma eh.
Yeah.
People are not gonna listen to the CD. And we can both agree that parang talagang 8-track. However, kami as Intro Voice, na-realize namin, imbes na pumipirma kami sa poster or sa flyer or sa napkin, sabi namin, pipirma kami sa CD.
In addition to that, also I agree, I think we should still make CDs. CD is like, if you're an author, if you publish a book, you have something.
May audiobook, pero may tangible.
You have this is a project that you worked on, and it's a final project.
Yes.
So it's a sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
If you have that CD instead of just like on digital world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were, ang problema lang kasi with the pros and cons, like wala pa naman shows, and medyo mahal. Bibilin ba nila ng mga $10, ganun.
I know.
And so and people are gipet right now.
Yeah.
So it's not a feasible kind of solution right now. But it's something that we will not, maybe if we do have shows, of course, yeah, you're right. Having a CD and even just putting it on your shelf,
diba?
you have a sense of accomplishment.
Yes,
like with your intro voice, I know you have like a whole, but with us, it's like my sense of accomplishment talaga.
May tangible.
Yeah.
We'll talk more music after these reminders. Babalik kami with Dennis Diaz. And we're back with Dennis Diaz. So off-cam, during the break, pinag-uusapan namin yung band dynamics. Pag-usapan natin yun, like, you're the eldest in your band sa River, di ba?
Yes, I'm like the father.
And you were telling me off the air na may mga Zoom meetings kayo and all that stuff, but kumbaga, you hold the whip. You're the whip cracker.
I guess you could say that.
How does it... And si Bong, baby pa yan eh. Bata pa yan si Bong.
Yeah.
So how does... Tapos si Dale, hindi mo lang kung matanda na yan o bata yan. So anong feeling? Tapos may 3 kang anak sa bahay. And then you have a day job. So how does it feel investing in your bandmates?
Oh, it's a lot. But
Doon pa lang natapos na yung nasum up mo na no?
you know, it's a lot, and it's also because you worked on it so much that you want to really make it work. So I hold quite a bit of this album, River, recording wise. Like marami kami, hindi lang ako, like we really poured our kind of talents to it. So since tapos na yung album, it's more of we did the fun part. Now we're doing kind of like the gritty part of the music business side now. We need to get this out there.
O kasi wala kayong manager, di ba?
Yeah.
So kayo rin yun.
And usually even without, if it's DIY, we do it ourselves. We try to market ourselves.
Paano division of labor ninyong tatlo?
We divide it by 3. We talk about it in Zoom meetings like it's work. And you tell, what did you do this week? Yeah. So it's a good kind of a way to at least keep up of para. Kasi if you just kind of leave it alone, it's Spotify na, and then if you don't talk about it anymore, it just kind of withers away.
So now, with regard to the whole Spotify thing, minomonitor nyo yun, no?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you make money off of Spotify?
Nothing. But
Wala talaga.
well, if there's if you reach
an
amount of play, like maybe 10,000 or whatever, then maybe you'll get some kind of
compensation.
You get a check. Yeah,
for how much? 10 cents
per play. Yeah, something like that. But we're just using the Spotify platform for just so because it's a really big platform that people listen to it. It's a good avenue for people to listen to.
So kumbaga easy access.
Yeah, easy access.
So far naman, when I can only speak for myself and our audience. Guys, put it in the comments below pagkatapos siya pakinggan yung album ng River. But
even if it sucks, please tell me.
Ikaw naman, so self-deprecating. Wag ganun. But ano ang initial reaction ng family mo when they heard the album? The finished product?
It sounds like an American band.
Which is good, right?
Sounds like doesn't sound like me.
Pero, pero anong definition na ba ngayon ng American band?
I don't know.
Because, ano yung kanta na nagulat ako, were they an Australian band na may Thai na Indonesian na singer, Sweet Disposition yung kinanta nila? Temper Trap. Yun, tunog kanu yung kanta na yun.
Yeah.
And then pag nakita mo yung itsura ng singer, parang, what? Yung boses na yun galing dito sa taong to, parang...
Well, I think when we say tunog American, I think I'm stuck in like the 80s, 90s kind of mentality.
Okay.
When you say tunog, but now you could have like all like Armenians, and you're an American band like
System of a Down.
System of a Down. So you have BTS, or you have these K-pop singers who are singing in English fluently. So it's really, it has a broader market. Now you have a bigger audience. So that's what we were aiming for. Or that's what I was aiming for too, as lyrically and vocally. And medyo I'm still not confident when singing and being the front man kasi parang
di naman. Pag-usapan natin ang image nyo. Sa inyong tatlo, well, ano muna image ng banda? Ano muna ang packaging ng banda?
wala.
Kasi ang ganda ng logo eh. Actually, nung ni-reverse nyo yung E para maging 3, ang ganda ng logo. And did you know yun din ang ginawa ni Elon Musk?
Oh, really? That was actually Dale's idea, and it was at the time. Yeah, it's like really good. It emphasizes 3-piece lang kami, and
Diba?
like from people, our friends, or who listen to our band live, we sounded parang mataba yung sound, for the lack of a better term. Yung sound namin sounds very full for a 3-piece band.
Yeah.
For a 3-piece band, and me as a singer, I'm really trying to. I want to carry, since I'm carrying the band, make sure na I could also deliver na hindi nung para ako nagkakaraoke or
Right.
like it's a different venture for me na like okay ako yung singer. Parang in-upgrade ko sarili ko from playing bass and then get keyboard ngayon.
Ano ba to? Ikaw mismo nagsabi, ako kakanta, you just sang. Paano kung kumanta si Bong o si Dale, you'd allow them to sing also?
Yeah, if they want to.
Okay.
I always say, ikaw kaya kumanta? Hindi ko na.
Do you guys play to tracks?
No. This is more organic kind of a type of band. But we're thinking about that. Either we get a keyboardist.
Right.
Gusto nga actually kung anong keyboardist.
Di ba sisira na yung number 3?
Oo nga eh. Well, you say you have Green Day and then you have all these other hired guns around it. Maybe if we get a show that's kind of high budget, maybe we'll get like a keyboardist there, so it kind of like make the image a little more
pay to play. Naalala ko pinag-usapan namin ni Annette yan but I'd like to know your thoughts on pay to play.
It sucks.
Why does it suck?
Because you pay to play.
Pero diba, isn't that how it's supposed to be? Ako, for some reason, am I the only one who actually doesn't? Because I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, I would pay to play.
Well,
it's like advertising yourself, right? Think about it.
Right.
If you want to promote yourself, don't you pay to?
I paid so much to play, like to play at the Whiskey, to play at the Roxy, to play at House of Blues, where you sell tickets that you had to, and then you turn it in. Wow, I just sold like $3,000 worth of tickets, and then I just turn it in. Where does that $3,000 go?
Oh, where did the $3,000 go?
Sa venue or whatever.
Wala kang cut.
Wala kang cut.
Okay.
Kasi binenta mo na mura yung cut mo. So it sucks, but it's weird also being, because I have my original band River, and I have 2-3 different cover bands that I play for. I have yung Big Bad Wolf with Neil, and then I have also Thieves Like Us with Annette, and then we just get musicians around us to do some of the new wave stuff. So mas kumikita kami sa cover band gigs.
Isn't it unfair, no? Parang
it's unfair. But, original is like really a labor of love that you hopefully make some money in the end. But this is the excuse me. yung mga cover band gigs, it's like, you get a gig and then you get paid for your time.
You know what? Here's how I see you. And when I say gear father or godfather, I mean, I don't say that lightly. Ah. I really think that you have a lot of influence sa community natin dito sa LA. And, parang River could be an avenue for you to really start a movement of bringing out US OPM. Whether
thank you. That's a big statement to say. Thank you.
Pero it's true kasi dahil you've helped a lot of bands, you're still helping a lot of musicians. Tapos people look up to you, and they really do. And it's a tall order, but they do. Imagine after this pandemic, kalimutan na natin yung pay to play. Pero if you guys, instead of trying to front for an artist in the Philippines, actually start the movement and let the other bands follow. And if people were able to do the honesty system sa Cybertron, dito they will be able to to pony up the money to make it happen. Kahit ako sabihan mo ako, I'll help out pagdating sa ganun. Because I think you're onto something. But don't lose sight of what you're onto, because I really believe you're onto something.
Oh, really? I try to, but it's also you have your life maintenance, if you will.
I know,
and you take care of family.
Kasama yan.
3 kids who are young, under growing up, and it's hard if everyone were single. Like if I were,
yun, yeah.
and if I didn't have a day job, if you could do music full time, then yeah, like I wish I did this at a much younger age. Like, because when you were talking about goals earlier. Back in college, I wanted to also score for film at the time because I was writing music theater pieces.
Maybe now mangyayari yun, no?
But now I have the resource and the maybe musical knowledge, and I guess the maturity level of, well, actually hindi.
Well, maybe you do.
Hindi.
Anong wala? Time.
Yeah, in time. But I try to push more for time and investing gear to like make that happen. So now I have more of a goal than before. Then you just kind of like ride the wave. Now I actually have a goal to actually make a name for myself in the music.
Yeah.
Not just in our country or in our circle of friends, but also outside.
And you never know also You never know kasi like may mga tinulungan ka in the past na maybe sila ang magiging film director sa Hollywood, and then ang una nilang iisipin is you. And then all of a sudden, you're riding on the coattails of this person, and now you're living your dream because this person was able to fulfill his dream, di ba? And ang tingin ko sa River, 10 songs all original. New Day in August, 5 songs. Puro EP Kayo talagang, ang alam ko lang na nasa circle natin na gumawa nun is kami.
Introvise.
Di ba kami? Na parang, okay, 10 songs talaga kapal na mukha natin talaga. Let's all go out with an album, right? But then, for you guys to be able to do it, you know what that tells me and what it should tell everybody? Everybody can do it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kasi, off-cam, di ba, pinag-uusapan, intro voice kayo Pero ito hindi. You guys did it already. Kinikilabutan ako. You guys did it already. All you guys need to do is really make paypay under the wings para talagang to make off. And I guess the 2 other members should step up even more, because the thing that they have that you're lacking is time.
Yeah, I think I don't just speak for my band, but also in I think bands in general, if everybody had the same work ethic, even if everybody's making different income-wise or whatever, but if you have the passion and the drive to really get your music heard, pinaka-importante sa akin talaga, not your skill, it's your work ethic.
Yes. Yung consistency mo.
Your consistency mo. If your work ethic is really good and and then parang kumbaga sa basketball, ayaw mo yung bangko ka lang, di ba?
Yeah.
You want to play.
Yeah.
And you want to shine with those other, you want to be with like LeBron, and you don't want to be just kind of bangko ka lang. Sila, sikat na sila.
Yeah.
Sikat lang ako. Diba? So you don't really...
Again, work ethic yun.
Yeah,
if you want to play with the big boys, kailangan ng work ethic mo.
Yeah.
Should be like the big boys.
Yeah.
That's why people ask So people ask us, why are we still doing, like when I say we, like JJ behind the camera, you, me, why are we still doing this? It's because we believe in something, and hopefully you being here, us talking, will get people who are watching to actually be inspired and go, you know what, okay.
Yeah, it's really, again, it boils down to the work ethic. If you're pursuing and you have the drive to do what you want to do, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Kasi mas may movement eh.
Right.
With to me, yeah, that's the most important thing.
So now,
and you'll be able to accomplish a lot of things.
you'll be able to accomplish a lot, yes. And you'll have fulfillment also.
Yeah.
Diba? Kumbaga parang all of a sudden, wow, ang layo na pala ng narating ko. And because you're moving forward all the time eh.
I'm also fortunate being around with like really fantastic colleagues, even from where I work. If you're around with really good mentors, that's uplifting you. Like, I'm very lucky. My wife is always supporting me.
Yes.
So they make the best out. Like, somebody
Yes.
has to help you, get lifted, not pull you down, but like
Yes, lift you up, yeah.
lift you up and also encourage what you want. Like, talagang supportive. Hindi yung oh, gastos ka na naman dyan.
Masakit yun.
So, if you have somebody, a partner and a group of friends, family, brothers, sisters, colleagues, co-workers who really encourages you, and you learn so much from them, as work ethic and
Yeah.
also intelligence and wittiness. If you're witty and clever and just
I mean, keep learning, di ba? Dapat, wala namang masama to keep learning eh. And you mentioned that you have a day job. What do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm a systems engineer for high performance.
So systems engineer for a high performance
Data storage
data storage. Wow.
company called Open Drives.
Wow. Open drives. So you do that every day you go to work.
Yeah, well, I'm working at home from now, but for now,
But still, right? Responsibility. So there's that. And then you have your family life. And then you have your band life. And you're accomplishing things in the middle of a pandemic. Again, it all boils down to what? Work ethics.
Yep.
Anong advice mo sa mga bagets ngayon with regard to work ethics? What would be your standard of good work ethics?
I think for younger guys and younger gals who are in their 20s, just try to be around people who would really lift you up, make you learn more, and listen to people who are wise.
Yeah.
Like if you have people who are wise,
Yun ang masarap eh.
who could kind of mentor you para mas maganda yung end result mo. I'm lucky with my parents who are very supportive, paid for my college degrees. I'm also lucky with my siblings who are very supportive, and also my wife and my kids, I guess, even if they don't know anything yet. But just having that mentor, like, try not to be around people who are medyo bad influence. I think that's key as you grow up to become more responsible.
How do you cut people off sa buhay mo?
Unfriend. No.
Oo nga naman.
The unfriend button and you're done.
Oo nga naman. Ba't di ko naisip yun? I mean, do you ghost people or do you...
No, fortunately, I'm very lucky that I don't have to ghost people.
Okay.
And it's also hard being, even with PGH at the time, naiipit ako because there are factions
I know.
Of groups that
Yes.
don't get along. And so, and you're in the middle, and then if you want to party, ano i-invite? Kailangan hindi pwedeng pumunta yung kasi hindi pupunta to. It's the same feeling I had because I went to Ateneo and Lasal.
Right.
Kung pagsasama ko sa isang party, malabo mo pa
magrarambulan niya mo.
Yeah, because I have both.
Your brother from Ateneo,
yeah.
di ba?
Kasi nag-Ateneo rin ako ng elementary school.
Oh, traidor.
So,
Anyway.
so I have the best of both worlds. I have
Yeah.
like when I go to the Philippines, it's all Atenista mga
Right.
sa akin. Pero dito sa US, puro mga Lasalista.
Correct.
Migrate na lahat dito. So I have best of both worlds. And in what was I talking earlier about?
About ghosting and unfriending people.
About,
and factions
people factions of gearheads or
Yeah.
bands. It was a little kind of challenging to make sure that you invite someone, and then it's hard to like not invite somebody because kaibigan ko rin yun eh. And then, so sometimes naipit ka if you're in a position where you kind of like started a community and you're like, and you have to be like parang mayor.
Ikaw, hindi parang mayor. Ikaw talaga mayor. Hindi parang mayor.
Hindi, si Haro yun. So it's challenging, but it's also fulfilling na that's something that I'm really proud of with Annette and I, that we kind of accomplished in the community. And hopefully it even grows even further.
Yeah.
Further.
I hope so too. Now, Pinoy Gearheads, to the uninitiated, how can they join? By invite only, or can they look for that on Facebook?
The only reason why I just kept it private all this time is maraming trollers eh. So you want to trust somebody first. You know how like when I just joined like the Ableton user group, and
Yes.
you're probably in it, I
Yes.
don't know. Di ba meron questions and then you have to
yes,
answer.
yes.
So it's kind of like you have to vet somebody, and if you're inviting somebody, hindi siya like you're gonna start shit on the
Mahirap yun
thread.
eh.
Yeah, so that's why I don't want to make it public. Baka maging parang ano lang, like
Yeah.
mga gear related stuff na nag-aaway lang sila or whatever. So like I want to just keep it.
The tone is in the finger. It's in the gear. It's in the finger.
So it's kind of like parang if you want to join PG, kaya kami na lang nga ni Annette yung admin eh. Parang pinagod ko na lang mga admin. So tayo na lang, and then it's not an active group, but it still has that everybody seems to be respecting each other. There's no parang like kupal ka or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Respect.
and if ever there's somebody going to talk shit about it, it's only one person and the whole group just kind of chimes in.
Hindi, totoo, which is good, di ba?
Yeah.
Nagsi-self-police na naman sila eh. Now, speaking of you and Annette naman, I am under the impression that you guys are really best friends, no?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like I think from day one, parang kulitan lang.
Get your story straight, ha? Tanda mo, sabi mo, hindi natin pag-uusapan to. So.
Oh yeah, at least it's not how we met, but it's always kasi baka iba yung story ko on how we met. We met actually in Craigslist.
Okay.
Sa anong part section na yun na yung
hindi yung ano, ha?
you know what I'm talking about?
Ay, alam ko yun.
Yung encounters.
Yes. So you guys are really best friends. And anong dynamic ng relationship nyo?
It's always kulitan and always and then when we're in bands together, nag-aaway din kami.
Nag-aaway kayo?
Yeah, like for instance, nainis ako parang wala siya sa time minsan or whatever.
How do you say that?
Mali yung pagpain.
Kasi ako pag sinabi ko kay Jaja, kasi Jaja sings, pag sinabi kong medyo off ka, iba na yung tingin sa akin. No?
No, I think we always fight, but we kind of like, it's sometimes like she's always right. Like
sabi nga niya sa music nag-argue kayo, pero parenting.
Hindi. I mean, in that sense, or in that kung sa parenting, not music related as parents, she's more on the strict side.
You're more in the okay.
I'm kind of masyadong sinispoil ko yung mga anak ko or I'm too nice and then nagalit ako tapos the next thing nabibilang ko ng laruan. So I'm a little bit of on the soft side. I'm not sometimes like, how do you be a strict dad? I just can't. I don't know how. Like, siguro magagalit lang ako kung talaga makulit talaga or they don't do their homework.
Pero paano ka magalit? Do you yell or?
I do yell sometimes.
You do yell, huh?
I do yell.
As soft-spoken as you are, you do yell.
No, I'm not soft-spoken.
You're not
I'm only soft-spoken to friends, but not to my family. And Annette knows that. And if I do yell, it's I do have a very strong patience.
Okay.
Hindi ako madaling magalit.
Okay.
Parang matagal bago magalit. So,
but it's there.
it's there.
Okay, so as business partners kayong dalawa ni Annette, how do you come up with the decision? I mean, how do you guys talk about stuff? And let's say
Music or
the studio, di ba? The studio, pakawalan na natin yan. Paano nyo pinag-decide? Was that your decision? Did you consult your wife?
Yeah, I think it's also a matter of like if it's really financially hurting us, then we have to let it go.
Okay.
And she trusts me and for some reason I have some kind of a lucky
Gut feel.
even like choosing a house, choosing some big decisions for the family, and it's always kind of
Sapol.
yeah, it always falls into a really good place.
So let you man cave sa bahay nyo. Whose idea was that?
Oh, that was me. Because when we were looking for a house, I know Annette mas mahal to, but if we have our own creative space and if we're not just like in the living room with the kids all the time, this will like keep our relationship healthy. If we have a music room where we could do our creative stuff, sometimes siya lang nandun, nagdadums siya by herself, or I go up there and do our thing, and then both of us doing our either live stream or doing music videos together. There's always the creative, kasi we're both creatives. So
Are the kids allowed to be?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pero minsan na ako baka masira yung gitara or baka bumagsak. Actually nasira niya yung isang gitara ko na bumagsak. I had to pay like $500 para paayos.
Oh.
So yeah, we have a whole and hopefully after this pandemic I would love you to come over and maybe jam it.
Yeah, I would love to come over
and show off my gear.
Sige. By the way, we'll come back. More of Dennis after these words from our sponsors. We'll be back. And we're back. So, okay, pandemic, post-pandemic, River, Sons of Asylum, you work in totality. Who are you really? Who is Dennis Diaz?
Oh, I'm just some dude.
Like, who do you, maybe, I guess the question is, who do you want to be? Who are you now and who do you want to be?
That's a good question. I always ask myself that. It's like an existential kind of we could talk about this for days.
Oh, go, by all means.
Who is Dennis Diaz, huh?
Yeah. Di ba? Parang, ako excited ako ngayong araw na to kasi, tayo, we never go past beyond, pag nagkikita tayo, a few sentences and then, okay, sige, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's really glad. Thank you again.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. But yun ang question sa utak ko eh. Who is Dennis Diaz? Because you're a very generous person. A lot of people, and you guys might, musicians from other countries na umaasam, pumunta sa NAMM show, you've given a lot of our kababayans an opportunity to experience that once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, I think that was a fortunate thing that I was able to Cybertron Studio became a member of NAMM.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, keep working. And I wanted that to share with Gearheadz. And the only, I don't want to invite a person with some Josh Mo na kaibigan who would not appreciate that.
Yeah.
You want people who would appreciate going there.
Yes. But you have that generous heart eh.
Oh, thank you. I hope maybe someday.
I mean, so
Inspire.
are you aware that you have a generous heart?
Oh yeah, just kidding. No. No. I don't know. Maybe.
Kasi ang description ng asawa mo sa'yo, hindi ka seloso, generous ka, and puro positive eh. And then I'm talking to you now, and the vibe I'm getting is you're very soft-spoken. Well, among friends lang pala. So sino si Dennis Diaz?
Sino ba si Dennis Diaz, yung kupal na yun? That egotistical bastard.
Oh, by the way, bago mo sagutin yan, minsan, makikita kita naka-dreadlocks. may different images, may different image ka pa eh. May different faces sa buhay mo.
Meron pang F4 look.
Meron ka pang K-pop look. Di ba? So,
Ngayon, pagkalbo ko eh, kaya medyo
nagpakalbo ka.
yeah. Well, now it's longer again because of
Okay.
pandemic, but I'm growing my hair like long again. Who is Dennis Diaz? I think he's the guy who is really ambitious, and I hope that being ambitious, parang gusto ko maging ambitious na rin yung mga, like I want to mentor, like I'm trying to reach out to younger guys,
Yes.
younger artists to like right now I'm helping, I don't know if you know Garth Garcia.
Yeah. He's been on the show, huh?
Oh, sweet. I'm helping him out with just him learning technical stuff, like how to do a video, like so you don't look funny on video or whatever, or lighting and stuff. So I try to just inspire or
Yes.
I know kind of mentor younger artists, because I also want to produce other artists in the future. Hopefully next year after, or maybe after this pandemic. Now that I'm trying to get into the Ableton thing, and you know, maybe produce like a different. Kasi gusto ko parang iba naman eh, like with the different albums that I was also with Stella's Notch with Melody Del Mundo we toured the Philippines at one point. So going through these stages, parang the next album or next solo work I want to do is something different from what I have now, because I want to take a stab at each kind of avenue.
Wow. So mentor, okay.
But yeah, I think also with age, I feel like I'm getting old. But I see all these young artists who are very talented but don't know the kind of the technical stuff of things. And bakit meron laundry sa likod ng video mo? Like it really pains me watching this video sometimes.
OCD ka ba?
Yeah, medyo.
I know.
And I see like parang ba't ang dilim? Or bakit yung video mo parang sobrang dilim? Wala nang kita. Or like things of that nature. I really want to help out friends, gearheads, and alike, and who are artists, and maybe become a producer of another artist someday.
Why not? I mean, I'm looking forward to that day also, because again, sino ba? Ang dami yung mga unsung heroes who can do so much. And ako, a lurker ako kasi. I'm a lurker. I'd say, ano kayo ginagawa ni Dennis? Like si Bowie. Si Bowie Menezes, shout out kay Bowie. Magaling magtimpla ng kape si Bowie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And magaling din siya gumawa ng mga mixed drinks niya. So sinasabi ko, kailan lalabas tong side na to sa'yo? Kulang pa, ganyan. Oh my God. He brought his, di ba Jay, nagdala siya ng mixed drink niya rito. He brought his mixed drink here. Timpla siya and all that stuff. Sa loob-loob ko, tinitignan ko talaga yung mixed drink. Sabi ko, pandemic ngayon, iinumin ko ba to? Pero masarap.
Yeah.
Masarap and all that. And pati siya, he's mentoring other people na as well.
Yeah. I think it's also, well, for me, it's my age. I'm getting old. And I want to, just kind of, because when I was younger, I wish I had a person.
A mentor to.
A mentor to like kind of manage, maybe not manage you, but kind of show you the ropes, or kind of tell you what's good or not.
Right.
And so you don't make bad choices. And pero all this time naman, I'm not a very good instrumentalist. I'm just still kind of like I'm okay, but not really that
But it's
good.
all here. Matalino kang tao.
I think what's good, I'm not a good guitar player. I'm not a good pianist. Not even, I'm okay playing bass, but not like really. But what I do have, and I'm very thankful for, I have a very good ear. And I think my ear that's why I could do everything placado. And also hearing all the harmonies, because with a degree in music, I know like counterpoint and all that stuff. So it really helped me
You think you learned that yung ear training mo because of early exposure to music?
Yeah,
You think?
early exposure and playing all the time, playing keys and playing bass. And if you're a keyboard player and a bass player, so when you're playing keys in the band or you're playing bass and magaling yung keyboard, mas swak eh. If you're proficient on both instruments. So
Yun nga lang, pag bilang keyboard player, pag hindi mo type ang keyboard player mo, naiinis ka. Di ba?
well, to me, the most important part ng rhythm section is the drummer.
Yeah,
And your band is only as good as your drummer. I believe in that statement.
me too.
If without, tinan mo yung banda ni Sting with Caljuta.
Oh,
I mean,
ooh.
he carries that band like
Ooh.
no other.
Yeah, di ba?
Yeah. So kahit palpak yung iba, pero sobrang galing ng drummer.
Sobrang panalo na. So what can... Okay, before we end this, can we get a commitment from you na pagkatapos itong pandemic, we'll see more of your band?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, that's a no-brainer. And we also are going to release some media, some CDs for sure. That's in the works. Nag-iipon pa kami, of course. But yeah, and hopefully we get the vinyl. Like, we really want to get some vinyl done. Even if we don't have record players, I think it's just cool to have.
I know. Will there be another Cybertron?
Maybe if I make the, music as full time. But now being a systems engineer is like kind of paying the bills.
Yeah. So,
Giving me all. It's kind of like making it easy for me to get the gear better.
so okay, maliban sa wag maglalagay ng laundry sa likod habang nagzo-zoom or habang nagvi-video, what advice can you give aspiring musicians? Or people in general who are about to face life for the first time?
Just follow your heart. Just don't be around bad people who will pull you down.
Yeah.
I think if you're around people who are good mentors and somebody you look up to that you trust and who will just show you nothing but wisdom and courage and inspiration, yun yung mga taong kailangan makasama mo para angat ka rin kasi ayaw mo yung, you don't want to be the saling pusa in a group or in general. You want to
Kasi
be...
gusto mo humabol, gusto mo level up sa kanila eh.
Yeah, exactly. Kasi like even just from my work,
Yeah.
kung ikaw yung pinaka-ulit or mga walang hindi
Diba?
masyadong alam, parang you feel like, parang like, parang nakakaya, parang, kasi kung lahat magagaling,
Yes.
a good example is yung bahista ni Dave Matthews. I can't remember his name right now. He joined that band when he was 17.
Wow.
And he was not even that great. Sala lang siya doon kasi kaibigan siya ni Dave Matthews. Pero because sa banda na yun, gumaling siya dahil
Oh my God.
because he's a member of Dave Matthews Band.
And you have to be good, yeah.
Yeah.
So Carter Beauford ang drummer mo.
So it's like Tony Canal, gumaling siya sa No Doubt, and that's their first band. Hindi naman, pero gagaling ka talaga kung magaling lahat ng kasama mo.
Yeah.
So that's important. If you're young, you're 18, 19, 20, or maybe mid 20s, and you're trying to, my advice to you is yes, to be around with those people para you feel compelled para to level up.
When is it what advice naman will you give kids with regard to the right time to leave a band? Kasi between you and me, mas marami kang bandang nasalihan. Ako, 2 lang banda yata nasalihan ko. 3 banda lang nasalihan ko. But when is it the right time to leave or stay in a band? When is it time to say goodbye?
If you feel like ikaw na lang lahat gumagawa.
Sabihin ko sana, mamaya ako sasabihin off camera.
if you feel like ikaw na lang lahat gumagawa, practice-wise, financially, work ethic, and also parang your passion is to move forward, but you have teammates that's dragging you down.
Ba't di mo sipahin yung mga teammates? Bakit ikaw ang kailangan umalis?
Oh no, I've
Fired
kicked out
people,
people
yeah.
before, and sorry, medyo. We can't wait for you to get better. We
Ooh,
have times like
ganun mo ka-diretso sasabihin?
yeah. This is back in maybe the early 2000s. I had to ask particularly the why because gosh, E minor chord hindi mo na alam. Just get the fuck out. So so it's one of those things that but sometimes I said to you earlier, sometimes yung pagkabait ng tao is more important than the skill.
Yeah.
There are times na they are very nice, pero sobrang
Para maging friends ulit tayo.
yeah, that's hard too. Like if you and you have a solid band, but you have this kind of like the ano tawag doon?
Odd man out.
Or
Odd man in.
Yung medyo hindi yung
Weakest link.
weakest link.
Uh,
If you don't want to be the weakest link in a band or a basketball team or any team,
Anywhere.
or any or work team
Yeah.
or whatever, in a band, of course, you don't want to be the weakest link. Kung ikaw yung drummer, ikaw yung palpak sa buong banda,
Yeah.
you have to step it up,
yes.
right? You have to like, or even a guitar player or a bass player or even vocalist. You have a good band and then yung vocalist mo medyo like meh.
Kahit sa magkakapatid actually, you don't want to be the weakest link.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be the weakest link in an organization or whatever, or any kind of group. You don't want to be the weakest link. And if you're the weakest link, parang, yeah, magkaibig o mabait ka nga, pero,
Aha.
pero kung masyado kang under sa asawa mo, huwag na.
Ooh, mukhang hindi pa tayo matatapos. Gusto ko pag-usapan.
Diba? Like, so, like, mare, yeah. Like,
So, nagkaroon ka ng mga bandmates na under sa asawa nila?
oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time?
Kung yung asawa mo, pinakasalan ka musician, dapat, they have to live with that. You're a musician. So, like, you can't, like, let them not,
Kita mo
not
si
go.
JJ. Yun.
Right? So, if the person who says she loves you because you're a musician and she probably got attracted to you because of that,
And then all
and
of a
then
sudden,
di mo papayagan mag-practice,
ano yun, di ba?
ano yun?
Correct. How do you deal with those people? How do you talk to your bandmates na nasa ganun sitwasyon?
No, I'm gonna talk to the wife. I'm like, what the fuck?
You'll talk to the wife.
Pinakasalan mo ng musician, ba't di mo pa yung practice? Akong kasama. Ano, sa tingin mong babae, broken.
Teka, bigla na paisip, sino sa kanilang dalawa?
No, I'm talking about previous bands.
No, but would you really talk to the wife or would you really talk to the non-band member?
But I'm just like talking to myself. And that's what I would say to the wife.
Pero bad trip yun. Naka-encounter na rin ako ng ganun.
Or husband.
Yeah.
Like let's say yung babae yung musician and then yung asawa mo ayaw kapayagan or siloso or whatever. Parang like you're bringing that person down. Like I said, you have to support your partner, right?
So guys, hindi, pero totoo yun eh. Kasi, I mean, like what I said, di ba? There are people who are starting out. And I hope you're watching this with your girlfriend or your boyfriend who's a non-musician. And after this episode, I hope you guys are talking it out. Because it's important eh.
Right.
Like kami dalawa ni Janelle. Minsan, sasabihin niya sa akin, alam mo, nagbago ka na. We've been together like mag-8 years na kami as of this video. So sabi niya, mukhang nagbago ka na. Sabi ko, excuse me, hindi pa rin ako nagbabago. Nung nakilala mo ako, I would talk about intro voice consistently. And excited ka makinig sa mga kwento ng intro voice. 8 years later, magkikwento pa rin ako sa iyo about intro voice, pero hindi ka na excited makinig ng storya ng intro voice. So, sino sa atin dalawa nagbago? Sabi niya, paano naman kasi? 8 years mo nang paulit-ulit kinakwento. But my point is, kung paano niya ako nakilala 8 years ago, yun pa rin ako ngayon. But kidding aside, itong studio na to, this wouldn't happen kung
Without her support, yeah.
without her support. And na-witness mo naman kanina before we came into the
Absolutely.
studio yung todo support, di ba? And si Annette nga when I was talking to your wife. And akala ko, normal yon, pero hindi normal yon. Ang daming mag-asawa ang nagkakalabuan because hindi nila sinusuportahan yung passion. And you know what? Maganda yung sinabi mo, about bakit mo hindi papayagan si ganito, si ganyan? Samantala ako kasama niya. Ano sa tingin mo gagawin na mabababae kami? Jonathan Buencamino said it best. In my opinion, sabi niya. Tinanong ko siya, paano kung yung wife mo, and hi Gail, si Gail is a very supportive wife. Paano kung yung wife mo, hindi ka payagan magbanda? Magagalit ka? Sabi ni Jonathan, magagalit ako. Because, hindi ako nagda-drugs, hindi naman ako nabababae, hindi ako nagsusugal, hindi ako umiinom. Ang bisyo ko lang pagbabanda.
Right. And they should know that from the get-go.
Nung nagkakilala sila mag-asawa, intro voice na siya and all that.
Uh-huh.
Yun. Ikaw, you wouldn't do that to your wife either, right? Stop her from...
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Kasi, the trust is there. And that's very important. And also in marriage, you have to trust the decisions. Kasi, as a partner, ang pinaka mas kalala ka is your wife.
Yeah.
Like
yung asawa mo, yeah.
Probably more than your siblings
yes.
or your best
yes.
friend. So like if you know the person, let them be creative, let them be I on the flip side then, meron din naman I don't want to badmouth yung mga asawa, husband or wife that are being strict with their partners kasi meron din mga gago rin naman talaga.
At baka may record na, di ba?
Yeah. So that's I'm not saying that it should be like payagan mo all the time. So if you may kasalanan ka sa asawa mo,
ayusin mo.
Or if not asawa or boyfriend or girlfriend or so like you have to kind of you have to earn the trust of each other and support each other artistically and yung passion kuwari yung kuwari asawa mo in photography. Yung gusto niyong camera, $4,000, pero yung gitara mo, 300 lang.
Paano
support mo, gusto mo, like,
paano kung ang gusto niya kunin ng picture, puro mga lalaki nakahubad?
Kung yun yung passion niya, then you have to support it. Model lang. Model.
Parang sino ba si Joven Kalingo?
If let's say, if you have, if not passion, let's say you're a profession, you're say a camera person for a porn movie, but you're making tons of money, then why not? Kasi yung pera na yun, sa'yo rin. Kaya mas marami kang gear na pwedeng bilhin.
Alam mo talaga, si Dennis, basta gear. Hanggang mamaya, pwede kami mag-usap nito. Kanina lang si JJ, at saka dapat nakunan ko ng video next time. Puro gear ang pinag-uusapan. Naghuhugas na si JJ ng pinggan. Gear ang pinag-uusapan nilang dalawa.
Nakakatuwa nga minsan, like we're driving in the freeway. Yung mga tag doon, yung club
billboard?
with
yung mga spearmint rhino, mga
mga spearmint rhino. Anet, kailangan mo ng job. Para mas may pagbili tayo ng V-drums mo. So, but yeah, it's like you have to be supportive of each other's passion, no matter what it is.
Ayos. Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Diaz. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I hope
ano ka ba?
I feel like a development in the grand scheme of the universe.
Hindi, this is one nice episode na inaabangan ko. Because, again, beyond the highs and hellos, ngayon lang talaga tayo nag-usap ng ganito kahaba.
Yeah. And I've always been, I was looking forward to this then kasi, getting to know you then. Yeah.
First of many. Basta you guys are invited here. Hopefully, I could invite you and Annette and then magkwentuhan tayo lahat. Kanina nakakatawa yung kwentuhan nyo rin ni Jaje. So,